Welcome guys, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Foreground Music. My name is Ty, and today I'm going to be talking about an album that I had to spend a bit of time with before I felt comfortable reviewing it. It's one that I really wanted to grow on me, or at least speak to me in some way that it wasn't doing at first. But I finally feel somewhat comfortable talking about this thing, so let's get into it. Today we're going to be talking about the new album from French electronic outfit M83. M83 is the project of French musician Anthony Gonzalez. Initially a duo, now the sole member of the project, the sole consistent member, is Gonzalez, who's been doing his own thing in the studio since 2005, with the release of Before the Dawn Heals Us. This album's driving, shoegazy synth rock went over fantastically well, but on 2008's Saturdays Equals Youth, the band's sound took a turn for the more 80s-inspired dreamy synth-pop sound that it's known for today. This album explored themes of youth, longing, angst, and nostalgia. Gonzalez further refined this sound on the 2011 double album Hurry Up We're Dreaming, which produced the hit single Midnight City and put M83 on the worldwide musical radar. These albums were campy, melodramatic. In the case of Hurry Up We're Dreaming, sometimes a bit overwrought, but definitely a lot of fun to listen to for the most part. And now, in 2016, we have a follow-up to M83's most successful record, and this new one is called Junk. Now, Junk is presented by Mr. Gonzalez as a statement. Everything from its title to its disjointed pacing to the instrumentation is a comment on the current state of music. The disposability of music in the digital age, the lack of interest in music in the album format, and the notion that music ran out of interesting new territory to explore in the 1980s are all things that were on Gonzalez's mind as he and his co-conspirators kind of pieced this album together. But all pomp and pretense aside, does Gonzalez's latest nostalgia trip hold its own weight on this album? Or does it crumble under the preachiness of its own artistic trappings? Well, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go with the latter on that one. Don't get me wrong, this album opens pretty strongly with the song Do It, Try It. Here we've got slap bass, affected vocals, and house pianos that are used to create somewhat of a banger to open this thing up. I love the off-kilter vocals in the chorus. This thing is just a goofy, fun time, and I really enjoyed it. The female vocals on Go ditch the house vibes and just go for a straightforward pop song with a really awesome guitar solo from Steve Vai and a beautiful vocal performance from Mai Lan. Really awesome second track on this thing. Walkway Blues is another solid song that is almost reminiscent of the song The Game of Love off of Daft Punk's Random Access Memories, a song I really like. But unfortunately, it is not long before kitsch and lethargy take over any momentum that this thing had going for it. Aside from an overabundance of instrumental interludes here, this album, song by song, just gets more and more disposable sounding as it goes along. The last 3/4 of this record definitely have its moments, especially the heart-wrenching balladry on For the Kids and the groovy good time on Laser Gun. But then we've got tracks like Bibi the Dog, which aside from its confident danceability, really holds no weight aside from its campy aesthetic. Solitude shares For the Kids' somber disposition, but fails to manifest into an interesting song. And the equally forgettable Time Wind just has this depressingly uninspired vocal performance from Beck, of all people. The sleepy closer, Sunday Night 1987, presents the antithesis of the energy with which the album started, closing things out with dreamy atmospheres and this harmonica solo. I really enjoy M83's work. I wanted to like this album. But this time around, we have gotten a very moody, very confused record that intends to spearhead the war against new junkie music by throwing old junkie music in our faces. And I'm not about it. I understand that artists evolve and sometimes surprise their fans, and sometimes those evolutions result in amazing sounding records, but in this case, it's just a major letdown from an artist whose work I generally really enjoy. If the general spirit of nostalgia on this record is something that appeals to you, but you want a record that knows what it's doing, that has a consistent flow to it, and a set of really solid songs for you to get into, and for some reason you have not yet heard Random Access Memories from Daft Punk, then go listen to that album right now, please. Anyway, I'm gonna give Junk a 68 out of 100. Thank you so much for watching another review from me, guys. I really do appreciate your viewership and your support. Feel free to comment in the section below this video. Let me know what you thought about this album, and tell me if I was wrong. If you can make a case for this thing, go ahead and tell me about it. I want to hear it. I will respond to all of my comments. That's what they're there for. And leave me a like on this video if you agreed with what I had to say about this record. Or if you respect people's opinions and you don't like what I had to say about it. And subscribe for more music-related content in the future. And remember, life's too short for background music.